Okay, so today I want to talk about some of the tools that a tile setter will use. Like, for example, some of the tools that I use, some of the ones that I like. You're going to use a wet saw, you're going to use a trowel, you're going to use a snap cutter, you're going to use a sponge, you're going to use a margin trowel. There's all kinds of tools that you're going to use. But I want to talk today in particular about one tool that I find is very helpful and very versatile and can save a lot of time, and that's actually a pair of nippers. So these ones are side nippers. If you look at it, the jaws are mostly to one side. They have the ones that are in the middle. They have different type with the wheels, which are like perpendicular to the body. They've got ones that are like angled to the body. Very versatile tool. You can use this tool to finish off cuts. Like, for example, if you've got if you're cutting a toilet flange and it's not in the middle, it's just half is on one tile, half is another, or a quarter, or whatever. It's not in the center of a tile. You can start your cut with a wet saw, get it close, and then finish it off with a pair of nippers. And it doesn't matter if it's accurate because the toilet's going to go on top and it's going to cover it. So you just want it to fit. Although you can get some really good cuts with nippers if you know how to use them. Another thing would be like a light fixture where you're gonna, in a ceiling, you got to make a hole. Could be round, could be square, whatever. You make the hole, so you get it close with the wet saw or with the grinder or whatever, and then you finish it off and make it with your nippers, and then the plate of the light is going to cover it. Around a mixing valve, same thing. As long as the cut doesn't have to be like perfect or very close, a pair of nippers is a big time saver. You can also, if you've got to cut a sliver off a tile and your tile cutter isn't capable of doing that, you can score. I'm going to actually show you this in part of the video here. You can actually score it and then pull it off with your nippers. If you've got soft wall tile, you can actually do a whole backsplash. If you've got subway tile, you can do a whole backsplash with just the nippers if you know how to use them. Done that many times if you don't want to set up a wet saw. So very versatile. So let's go see some of the things you can do with a simple pair of nippers. And a lot of tile guys today, the newer kids that are coming in, don't use these much because it takes a little bit of time to master one of these, to be able to cut the piece that you need to cut without cracking the whole tile. I've been using this for 34 years. This is one of the first tools that I ever bought. Not this particular one, but this type. So anyway, let's see what we can do with a pair of nippers. Okay, so let's say you've got like a line that you want to cut off here, but you don't want to run down to the wet saw. So put that down. The nippers. So what you have to do, if you know how to use it, I haven't scored or anything. This tile is really hard, so let me just adjust this down a little bit. So I want to cut that line off. So I'm just going to nibble a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Okay, so I just want to apologize for the audio on this video. In some parts, new microphone. Just trying to figure it out. I didn't want to reshoot the whole video. Next time, I promise it'll be better. There you go. Nice cut. It's pretty good. But I didn't have to run. If your wet saw's in the garage and you have to run down. By the time you get to the garage, to the wet saw, run down there, cut it, dry the tile off, and come back up. You would have been done. So you can do curve cuts. Let's do a curve cut. Now let's do like a curved cut, like this. So you can either run down to the wet saw, or you can just do it right on the spot. You can take out bigger chunks. This is a hard porcelain tile. This is a really hard porcelain tile. There's your curve. You can do inside curves. Let's do an inside curve. This is a hard porcelain tile. If I had a softer tile, it'd be a little quicker. Another cut. So with the softer tile, it's going to be a lot easier. Obviously, like I said, this is a really hard porcelain tile. And then I'm going to show you in a little bit how you can score it and then pull it off. If the thing is, you got to be careful, because if you don't know how to use them sometimes, if you try and say cut this piece out here over here, you can snap the whole thing. Like if I go over here, the whole thing snaps. So, but you can cut big chunks off. So I want to cut that big chunk off. Cut that big chunk off. Quick, easy. Just need to take some practice and do it. So anyway, let's get to the few more tips and tricks on how to use a pair of nippers effectively.
Okay, so another way of doing a tight curve is you can use a combination of a wet saw and a pair of nippers. So here I'm just getting as close as I can with a wet saw, cutting some lines into the part of the curve that I want to remove, and then I'm gonna break those off and finish the cut with the nippers. Okay, so I got the wet saw, got it as close as I can with the wet saw. I'm going to just tap off all the little legs, and then I'm going to use my nippers to finish the cut. Okay, so I'm just going to take my time here, nibble up to the line a little bit at a time. This is also very hard porcelain tile, and I'm going to get close to the line, and then I'm going to just stone it with a rubbing stone to just knock the sharp edge off. Okay, same thing with the other side of the tile. Just do a bunch of lines to get close with the wet saw, and then nip the rest off. Okay, so this is another much bigger curve. I'm going to fast forward through it just so you can see. It's basically the same thing. You know, get as close as you can with the wet saw and then nip off the rest. Okay, so this is a soft ceramic wall tile, very easy. I also fast forwarded just so you get the idea. Wall tiles are much easier to do because they're really soft. Okay, so I have to cut this amount off here, this sliver off here. So this cutter will probably cut it, but if you have a cutter that won't do that, I'm going to show you using the nips how you can do it real quick without having to go on the wet saw. So I'm going to score it. I'm using the nippers and I'll put it like that. That's cut. So this is a tough porcelain tile. It's really hard.
Okay, so just in case you haven't seen my video, my name is Sal DeBlasi. I'm a tile contractor in the Boston area, mainly the North Shore. My channel has over 700 videos, way more than 700 videos now, all to do with tile. So please subscribe, leave your comments in the comment section below, and check me out on Patreon. If you can support me there, that'd be great. Thanks a lot, and don't forget to subscribe.